Hello friends, my name's the real Emile and welcome back to some more Forza Motorsport 6. Today, as I said in the last video where I used the Mustang 2 King Cobra to try and beat a Shelby GT350R, and it won by quite a lot, I said I would challenge to the next build, and well, this little Holden here is getting a lot of a challenge. It's got a cool looking engine. So this is the new Holden Torana A9X. This came with the last DLC pack. A pretty cool looking car, actually. I have no idea on this car. I don't know where it came from, what sort of homologation stuff it was in. But there you go. No idea on what any of this car is, but still, whatever. It's nice to have in the game, I guess. Kind of reminds me of a like an old Escort crossed with a Chevy or something like that. Anyway, this car's challenge today is to beat a V8 Supercar. Yeah. So I'm going to take this car, this V8 Supercar, to Bathurst, and then I'm going to give this car 3 laps to set the best time it possibly can. After that, I'm going to build the Torana up and see... I'm just trying to remember where Bathurst is. There it is. I'm going to build the Torana up to see if it could actually get anywhere near the the V8 Supercar. This could be interesting. I mean, I don't even know if the Torana can actually reach S-Class. It's definitely going to have an engine swap. But then again, you know, I don't know how these V8 Supercars drive. For all I know, this car could drive horribly. So, you know, this could go either way. But, yeah, I definitely decided that more challenge was needed in these, because as I said in the last episode, a Volvo has beaten a Ferrari and a King Cobra beat a Shelby GT350R, so of course I needed to ramp the challenge up, and I think this is suitably silly enough to ramp the challenge up. Anyways, never watched a V8 Supercar race in my life. I know this is apparently quite a good sport to watch. I would dearly love to, but unfortunately we do not get... Well, I think we can watch this in the UK, however it's bloody difficult to do so. I would love to go out to Australia to watch this though. I mean, that would be absolutely awesome. I'd kind of like to go out to Australia anyway, just to see what it's like. Because... I mean, it's kind of like the UK, I guess, in that everyone speaks English and everyone's understandable. But then again, car culture is a little bit different out there, and, you know. So, yeah, I would kind of like to go out there and just see what's what. It'd be kind of cool. And I'd love to go to Bathurst, because this track is amazing. Just like this V8 Supercar, actually, you'll see me sort of tugging at the wheel a little bit on this car, which, you know, fair enough. It isn't the nicest thing I've ever driven, but it's not half bad. Fun fact, in the Plymouth Prowler video, I did a build on that on the day the DLC came out, I think, or it might have been the day after. Anyway, I did a build on the... Ooh, God, you can't really go... Okay, that's kind of an interesting last corner. I've never really liked that last corner. I was sort of trying to be off power and see if that helps, but it really doesn't seem to, because you can't get the aerodynamics working through there. Because, of course, these cars are relatively silly. I believe this one has 619 horsepower. Oh, 620 horsepower. And rear-wheel drive. So as you can imagine, it's a bit of a handful if that aero doesn't work. Ooh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting him to top out 174. But there you go. So yeah, I was saying something. I completely forgot what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, in the Prowler video, I originally put that up against a V8 Supercar. Or I was going to. I actually kept the video. I went a bit wide on that last corner there. I'm not going to rewind it, because we'll just get a decent, you know, whatever. We got another lap to go. Another 2 laps to go, actually. You know, I never ended up putting that version of the Prowler video out, but I put that against the Nissan. Like, you really, yeah. Okay, so you can't be off power through these corners. You sort of need to keep a little bit of gas on, just so you can keep the aero working, I guess. yeah, that gets it round a little bit better. That's kind of weird. Anyway, I put that against the Nissan V8 Supercar, and that was not very nice to drive. And the Prowler was a lot better to drive, so... Yeah, the Prowler was a very, very nice car to drive. The Mustang 2 I drove last time, that was fairly decent to drive as well, so... Yeah, maybe the Torana will be nice, because as I've mentioned before, doing these builds, I actually have a hard time working with Forza 6 as far as building vehicles goes, because I either build something that's really awesomely grippy, but just has no straight line speed whatsoever, or I build a car with ridiculous, well, kind of good straight line speed, like average straight line speed, but it can't take corners for crap. And that's sort of the issue I had at the start of building these things. However, with the Prowler and the Mustang 2, they've both been really, really good cars, so it'll be interesting to see how the Torana handles. I think maybe B-class racing in this game's a little bit harder, because usually what I do is I sort of pick a car from... I don't try and go like too ridiculous, like if it's what's the lowest class in this game now? Is it E-class? I'm pretty sure it is. Usually with like E-class cars and stuff, I will only take them up to say C-class, whereas by the looks of it in this game, like, you really like max them out and they're completely fine, so... I mean, I don't know, it might just be an issue I have with the Forza 6 handling system overall. It's pretty decent, but, you know, as I've said before, you know, I was very, very good in Forza 5, whereas Forza 6 makes the handling perhaps a little bit easier, and that's sort of what I'm struggling with. Also, the cars in Forza 5, they do feel like they did give you a bit more sort of feedback as to what they were doing. Like, I could tell what the cars in Forza 5 were doing, whereas in this game I'm a little bit worse at that. That was a terrible last corner. But other than that, what's the time? 2:16.765. Right, one more lap. If I could get this one bang on, then that'll be good. Again, you know, the Torana's got to go around at some point, so I guess if it's not absolutely bang on, like my laps in the GT350R weren't exactly pristine, you know, it might actually stand a bit of a chance. But then again, you know, the GT350R and I think even the Volvo, you know, they were against, you know, fully fledged street cars, whereas the Holden's going against the race car with race tyres. And, you know, maybe that makes all the difference, because, like, the street cars don't run race tyres, well as the ones in this build series seem to be running, or most of the time run race tyres, because that's just what I like to run. So maybe when I put the sort of some of the other build cars against, say, road cars, I maybe need to restrict the race tyres on them. But, you know, I'm not sure. I'll have to definitely look into it. Anyway, this Holden... Yeah, the Holden's been fairly decent. It's a little bit tricky to drive out the lower speed corners, because as I've said, by the feels of it, you're not really getting, you know, any of the downforce around these sort of slower corners, so you have to be really careful around that corner, the last corner and the first corner. But other than that, this car is really, really nice to drive, which is kind of surprising. You know, you'd expect a sort of big snarling V8 race car to be a bit of a handful, and this one actually isn't, which is quite nice. I do remember in Forza 4 these cars were tricky, but they might have had more power in Forza 4. I'm not sure. This might be one of those race series where the cars actually get less power as they go on. Possibly, I'm not too sure. I really don't know about the whole regulations and stuff like that of V8 supercars. But there you go. Anyway, that was a much better last corner. What is the time to beat for the Holden? It is a 2:16.388. Yeah, good time for this car. Anyway, we're now going to go and build up the Torana to beat that car. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Anyway, it was a 2:16.388. There we go. Alrighty, let's see what the Torana is like. I'm not going to go racing at Le Mans at night. That's just, no. Don't race Le Mans at night. If you take out any of your head... Oh, God, actually, no. What did I do it in? I don't know. I'm looking at Honda. I want Holden. I think I was racing like an Audi 90 IMSA car, and that doesn't have any front headlights, and I found that out quite badly there. Anyway, what engines have we got? We've got a 2.6 inline 6. That's from a Skyline, I assume. 5.7 V8 Mustang engine, 3.7 V6 out of a NSX, I think, or it could be the 370Z, I'm not sure, and a 5.9 litre V8 Racing. I'm not really sure. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the car up, and then I'm going, no, not that, then I'm going to decide, yes, we need a wing. It actually doesn't look too bad with a wing. Like I said, it's a good looking car. Ooh. Actually doesn't look bad without the chrome. I'm going to keep it, but yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not having one of those, they're silly. Right, race tyres. Obviously, we're racing against the race car, we need race tyres. 255s on the front, they're a bit smaller than what they were on the Mustang 2s. Ooh, they're huge. 335s on the back. Okay, Torana is looking like this could be another walkover. Does engine change that? I don't actually remember. I'm going to leave that for now. Get the brakes on there, get the suspension on there. I'm not sure what to do full rate reduction on this car. This is actually quite a light car to begin with, so I'm not sure. I am not sure. PI isn't going up very much, but then again, this car has... I don't want to say it's got no power, but... yeah, it's got very little. We will go with a roll cage. Again, this is an oldie kind of muscle car, I guess. Yeah, I'd say this is a muscle car. Anyway, there we go. Right, let's go back and choose an engine. Ooh, that puts it way up. I kind of want to play... oh, people are going to hate me for this, but I don't really want to go with NASCAR engine. I kind of want to play with the V6. Because I haven't really used a V6 in a car for a while. It is also the lightest engine, so I'm going to go with the V6. I know many Holden fans have just left the video, but that's fine. You know, I do want to play around with this engine, see what it's like. We're not going to change the drivetrain on this car. Anyway, let's go ahead and do all of these. While I'm doing this, I guess... people in the comments, feel free to educate me on the Holden Torana. I'm actually kind of interested in this car. I was going to do some research before this video, but didn't really have the time to do that. So anyway, let's look through here. Exhaust, yes. V8 Supercar is S-Class, so really we're going to be looking at maxing this car out, basically. Weight is getting lower and lower. That's slightly concerning because the higher the power to weight ratio goes, the more uncontrollable a car can be. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but hopefully we'll be okay. PI is going up relatively nicely now. I don't know if this, with this engine, we'll actually be able to top S-Class, but we'll have to see. I think it's... God, I can't actually remember the PI on a V8 Supercar. I think it's around what we're at now, though. I know it on a 650S, but that's not really an important car. Have I... no, I haven't put that on. That's good. That'll reduce some more weight out of this thing. 622 horsepower. 656 horsepower. Yep, it's climbing up. I believe we're past the V8 Supercar now, which is good. I've put that on. I've put that on. Do we want intercooler? That does put a hell of a lot of weight back on. So I'm not sure on that. I'll come back to that. What about oil and cooling? Ooh, that also puts the weight up quite... yeah. Mind you, more weight in this might not necessarily be a bad thing, so sod it, we'll have it. And put that on. £2,256, 702 horsepower. Is that everything? Quick upgrade. Yep, that's everything. Alright, let's go out and see what the Torana is like to drive. This one isn't like the Mustang 2, where I was fairly certain it would be okay. This one I'm not too sure on. This could really go either way. We don't need stupid long gear ratios for Bathurst. I think I'm going to push them out a little bit though, just because there is quite a few straights here on Bathurst, or there on Bathurst, and I think that would probably help us out if they stay long. I've learnt my lesson with the Mustang too. I don't think I'm going to stiffen the suspension. I am going to increase downforce a little bit, again, just to help the car out a bit. And yeah, okay, we're ready to go. 3.5 seconds to 60, 192 miles an hour top speed. All right, let's see how the Torana goes on this. I'm curious. I am curious about this car. As I said, it really could go either way. I'm not sure on this car. It looks damn good though. It does look very, very good. I love the lime green paint job as well. Any car that comes in lime green is automatically excellent. So yeah, I probably won't do a sound check on this just cause 3.7 V6. But then again, it might sound alright. I like the way it sounds. Right, let us go. Off the line, we have silly speed, as per usual. Right, anyway, first corner. Ooh, understeer, understeer, understeer. But it's... As soon as you get out of the corners, you can just floor it in this car. That's good. Speedo's gone. The Speedo is definitely gone. It's always fun to do that on the older cars, just make the Speedo completely disappear. Right, brakes. How are we doing on brakes? Ooh, not... Ooh. Alright, so we're not quite as good as the Supercar when it comes to braking. But then again, I don't really know what to expect as far as that's concerned. Because, of course, the V8 Supercar is sort of... Well, it has a lot better brakes. Let's just put it that way. Ooh, God. That understeer is not fun. This car really has understeer, unlike the V8 Supercar. Which is a bit unfortunate. Spinning up the back wheels. No, I did definitely put the diff in this, didn't I? Yeah, I did, because I've completely upgraded this car. I do remember. Yeah, understeer is an issue, but then again, with the V8 Supercar, you had to be a lot more careful on the throttle. In this, it's just go, 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 basically. Which is very nice, actually. That's a good trait to have in this vehicle. Coming down to whatever this corner's called. I don't know the names of any of the corners, I do apologise. I definitely need to keep watching the gears. They're very short, and the rev counter in the car, which is usually what I use for gears, is of course completely useless because this is a completely different engine to the one this car rolled out the factory with. Anyway, straight line speed, how are we gonna do as far as straight line speed's concerned? Ooh, we have slightly more than the V8 Supercar, granted, but it doesn't get there quite as quickly. We cannot take that corner flat out, unlike in the V8 Supercar. Yeah, this car's biggest issue really is that understeer. If it had less in the way of understeer, it would be a hell of a lot nicer to drive. But as it is, it's not bad. It really isn't bad. But yeah, I would kind of like a lot less understeer. But then again, you know, one advantage is... Ooh, God. Either I didn't put the brakes down fully, which is entirely possible because I'm a bit dopey, or this car really just doesn't have very good brakes. Yeah, I think if the brakes were a little bit better and there was a lot less understeer, you see through there, that was way too under on the braking. This car would be a lot better. First lap, a 2:19. Again, that's not a flying lap, so we don't count that. Around there. Yeah, this I do like the rear end grip. Like, you'll see it come out, but it's not like, you know, it's not uncontrollable. It's perfectly nice to drive. It reminds me of the GT350R, actually, in that sense. In that it has a very controllable rear end where you can sort of plant the power out of any corner, and sure, the rear end will come out, but it doesn't really slow you down, if that makes any sense, which is nice. Definitely need to be careful through these two corners. Unlike in the V8 Supercar, where the first corner, the last corner, and that sort of tight hairpin were the worst corners, in this, it's sort of this entire section. You just have to be a lot slower through here because this has a lot more understeer than that car does. I think one thing I probably should have done as well is maybe harden the suspension a bit. I didn't really want to do it because I saw how the Mustang 2 reacted last time, and this is very sort of... There's a lot of elevation changes on this track, which is why sort of having a harder suspension maybe wouldn't have been such a good thing. Stuff like around here, you know, the car could have scraped and spun out and whatnot. But I definitely do think a harder suspension may have helped this car out a little bit. Just going to slow ourselves down for this bit. Around there, though, it's fine. Like, the V8 Supercar had so many issues, but with this, sure, it does understeer around there. However, it is a lot nicer to drive. We are 4 seconds up, which actually means this could go on to beat the V8 Supercar, which is good. I think this car gets away with sort of the understeer and the bad brakes because it is so quick down the straights, and because you can just plant it out the corners. Like I said, V8 Supercar, I was waiting to come on the power around that corner, and this, you just jump on it, you get a little bit of tail slide to say you're being a little bit of a fool, but other than that, it is perfectly fine. I might be able to take... You see, I want to take more speed through that last corner, but I really don't trust the understeer in this. A 2:15.632. I'll take one last lap. I'm fairly certain that's just gone faster than the V8 Supercar. I'll have a quick look down the straight. Yes, it has. Alright, the Holden Torana has beat a V8 Supercar here at Bathurst. That's insane. I wasn't expecting the Torana to beat the V8 Supercar. But there you go. It has, which is... I really need to... Like, don't get me wrong, this one's been a bit more challenging than the past two car builds, but I really need to step my A game up on this. Maybe, I don't know, we'll do the Datsun 2000 Roadster versus an Indy car. No, not quite, but I don't think I'm going to bother with the Datsun 2000 Roadster. I think I'm just going to stick with the normal cars for now, because they are definitely the sort of... most interesting. The 2000 Roadster's the only road car I haven't used in this DLC yet, and to be honest with you, I didn't, before I filmed this, because I was going to use the Holden anyway, I was just sort of seeing if maybe I should use the 2000 Roadster as well. And to be honest with you, the engine swaps in it just aren't very good. Like, there's the Aerial Atom V8, which I would be tempted to use at some point, but it would probably be in a different car. Like, maybe I'll try a Mad Caterham or something at some point, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Anyway, the Torana has, like I said, it's beaten the V8 Supercar, which, that's just surprising. We're just going to see if we can actually knock any more seconds off it. I don't think we will do. We must have had some issues up there in sort of the canyony bit, I guess. I do think this car could do with perhaps more downforce on the front and harder suspension, but other than that, the Torana isn't bad. The rear end, like I said, the rear end is really well behaved. This is a great handling car, and it's just great. It's fantastic. Little Torana is surprised me. It surprised me. Anyway, what we're going to do across the line, we are not going to be any quicker, but there you go. Anyway, 2:15.632. It beats the V8 Supercar by about 700th of a second. But there you go. Anyway, that is the Holden Torana time attack build. As I said in the last episode, if you've got any ideas for any other builds you'd like to see, or cars for me to go against in the next couple of episodes, then please do leave them down in the comments below. Anyways, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile. Until next time, farewell.